Good afternoon and welcome to the Happy Half Hour. I'm Leigh Kubin, Master Certified Life Coach and Weight Loss Coach.
I'm Sandra Priestley. I'm a Feng Shui practitioner and a leadership coach for female entrepreneurs. Hello. You know what? I almost jumped in there. You were talking and I almost rushed in. Oh, hi, I'm Sandra, by the way. That was a little weird, but I was excited. I was excited too much
Thursday
today.
Best day of the week.
Best day of the week. This Thursday is the new Friday. I don't know what you're drinking, but I am drinking once again from a can.
Oh.
What is this about? I do not know. I'm into can drinking these days. I wear my fancy SJP shoes, my matching glasses that match my shoes, and I drink from a can.
It's called balance.
I don't know,
Sandra.
It's yin and yang. It's the yin and yang of me. Right.
Yep.
I know. So I am drinking, I don't know if you've ever had this, but it is this brand Neutral.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's how you say it. And it's vodka, soda, and pineapple.
Oh.
And I'm drinking it, it just looks like water, like water. And I'm drinking out of a wine glass. But you know what? If I pretend this is wine and I smell it, it has the most lovely smell of pineapple to it. I don't know if it tastes like pineapple, but it smells it just smells wonderful. So it is tasty. I don't know why I have not had these cans before, but
okay, sip. I want to hear. How is it?
It's good.
Yay.
It's good. But you know what? It is, I'm telling you, it's the smell of the pineapple as you bring it up to your mouth. It's the smell of pineapple that I think that makes the drink. I swear it. I would also, I think, put a little pineapple slice.
Oh, yeah.
In there on the glass or something spectacular. But it is pretty tasty. I quite like it.
That would be a way to dress it up.
Well, yes, dress up the can. I feel it is what is it? Carbonated water, vodka, and pineapple flavor. Yeah, vodka, soda, pineapple. That's it.
Okay.
And 130 calories per can.
How many carbs, can I ask?
How many carbs? Let me see. 0% carbs.
Yay!
And 0 sugar and 0 protein and 0 sodium and 0 fat. So,
So I would take that all day long.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I know. 5% alcohol.
Mm-hmm. Now,
is that a lot? It, but I swear, no.
That's not?
No. It's like a what is beer? 6.5 or something? Mm-hmm. The stronger ones are, I think, 6.5.
I always have to ask.
I'm not really sure, but alcohol. Yeah. Well, it's not like a 40 ounce of vodka would be stronger,
it's a can.
Yeah, it's mixed. It's mixed, and it's in a can. It's in a can. So I'm gonna dress this sucker up in the summer with fresh pineapple.
Oh, for sure.
As fresh as we get it in Alberta, Canada, right? You can't grow pineapples here, so it takes a bit to get from Hawaii. But this is what I'm drinking, and it is tasty. Now that's taken me 5 minutes. What are you drinking?
Well, so this weekend was Mother's Day weekend, and we got my sweet niece Sarah. She listens to us every week. When I see her, she's always talking about, she'll just drop comments that she doesn't say, hey, when I was watching or listening to the show this week, she just says, and she repeats one of the stories that we told so that I know that she's listening.
We love Sarah.
Hi, Sarah. I love you, Sarah Noel.
Hello.
So anyway, we're all talking about, I guess it comes up about the whiskey. And my mother, I told you early on that my mother is the one that taught me how to drink whiskey.
Right.
So my mother's like, oh, there's this whiskey. You got to try it. So good. You can just sip on it and it's easy, but it can be dangerous. So be careful. But it's called Catch Fire.
Oh,
And it is an
apple
apple
and cinnamon?
cinnamon whiskey. Now, I am talking to her today when I'm at Total Wine. I called her because I couldn't find the picture of it that she sent me. And she's like, I really think you're going to like it. If you don't like it, I'll buy it from you. Like
Okay.
I will
Yeah.
drink it. I mean, it was not
Yeah.
an expensive bottle, but so I'm very
Right.
excited to try it. But I almost feel like I'm a kid again. Well, we'll say 21, maybe
Ooh,
6.
what can I try?
And
Yeah.
and I'm learning how to drink wine.
Oh
And you
my
know, when
gosh.
you first start drinking wine, you can tell where someone is in their wine evolution by what they pick.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
early on, you're drinking Moscato. Maybe that's even
Yeah.
too harsh. I'm trying to think of
Wine out of a can.
wine out of a box. No, there's flavors, and they're usually white, and they're
Yeah.
super
Like
duper.
white Zinfandel.
Well,
Like
but there's
white
new
Zinfandel.
Zinfandel that's not this. It's like more evolved. But maybe back in the day,
Okay.
like Behringer's white Zinfandel back in the day, I felt very sophisticated. So
Right.
drinking the whiskey is kind of like igniting my badass because I'm like, oh, I'm drinking whiskey, but I'm also acknowledging that I am on the very baby stage of whiskey. So I'm quite not badass yet, but it makes me feel that way.
Oh my
I
God, I love
think
it.
for it to be badass, I'm going to have to learn how to drink something that is not apple and cinnamon flavored.
Oh yeah, like good old Crown Royal.
Like I'm gonna have
Like
to
this
learn.
is yeah, this is what I'm thinking is like, I had no idea there was peanut butter whiskey. What was that other
Salted
one that you tried?
caramel.
Like caramel,
Oh,
right?
so
And
good.
then apple cinnamon
Let's
whiskey.
see.
I'm like,
Oh, and I'm
there's
drinking it out
Crown
of our
Royal.
favorite glass because it
Oh,
is
the
the
happy
happiest
hour.
hour.
It is the happiest hour.
Okay, so this is so
Not a
watered down. I
fan.
don't know if you can see how little the ice cube is.
Oh yeah,
It was a
you
big
had
chunk. So it's very
big one,
watered
yeah.
down, but the flavor is amazing. It kind of tastes like a Jolly Rancher.
Oh, okay. Because I'm thinking apple pie, and I'm like, man, I don't really like pie, but I do like Jolly Rancher.
Like it is
Green apple.
almost oh, what is that shot you do? Fireball.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's
Well, isn't that what it's called? Fire. What is it called again? Fire what?
Catch Fire.
Catch fire.
Mhm.
So tell me this. This is like all of a sudden now. This is like this super happy hour. But so tell me this. It's like now we're just chatting about the booze and not our day. But which is the best of these three that you've tried on the show? Is it the apple cinnamon catch fire? Is it salted caramel? Because like I'm partial to that one, or the peanut butter one?
Okay, they're all different. They're all completely
Which one
different.
is your favorite?
But if I was
Which one is your favorite?
if I was gonna sip on one,
Mm-hmm.
so far, salted caramel, hands down.
Really?
And interestingly enough, that was the first whiskey that I had ever sipped on.
Huh.
But this is good, but this kind of
I love it.
This is sweeter, but it's good.
You know what I need? I need a fleet of them. That's what I need. You know, those fleets of them. Like fleet, I wonder if they do that. Like that would be super cool. Like just flight
Yes.
of them.
A flight of whiskey.
Yes. A flight. What did I say? Fleet. That's what we need. Like a flight of them. Like all these little tasters.
Is that we have a few distilleries around here that offer those.
Mm-hmm. In whiskey?
Yeah.
It's like Texas a big whiskey thing.
Well, it's not really, or it hasn't ever, maybe I've just never been aware of it. But now all of a sudden, well, there's like vodka distilleries popping up and different, but whiskey for sure.
Yeah.
Over at one of our wineries in Liberty Hill, they do that.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Maybe we need to just go. I'll go to the winery or distillery and we will record it from there while I'm tasting them. That's what we should do.
Yeah. That would be so, like, really. I mean, wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, so
Okay.
let's
How was your
get
week?
started. It's like 15 minutes. Let's get started. My week has been pivotal. I'm going to say pivotal because something has been happening for me, and I've really sat in awareness of it, and I have loved the feeling of it. So I am doing this free masterclass, and I'm really sort of like not rebranding, but like refreshing my brand.
What's the name of this masterclass?
To be, the name of the masterclass is called "What the Fuck is Feng Shui and Why the Hell Do I Need It?" And this is the thing, right? It's like, and I'm talking to my coach about just refreshing my brand to make it more me. And for the longest time, I was kind of staying away from Feng Shui. People were telling me, "Oh no, you know, you're really good in business, or you're really good in branding. Like, do all of this." And I was holding this piece of me back. You know how it's like, well, we're both Feng Shui practitioners, but you know how it's like, we can try to pretend that it's not there.
But there.
Everything I do, it's there. It's like everything that I have been since I've been like 8 or 9, like redoing my space when I felt a little down.
Yes.
And then feeling so much better and knowing like, man, if I feel like shit in my little, 9-year-old problems, and I change my space and my problems go away because I see the world differently. I see my space differently. I shift my space. I shift my perspective. Like, full stop, that's Feng Shui. And I mean, it gets to be better because then when you understand the energy patterns, you can understand like how you can create, like, how can I use this as a 3D vision board? How can I decide, like, set my goal for world domination? I don't know, but like, how can I set my goal for $100,000 months and use my space to do that, and to remind my subconscious mind of where I'm going, not where I was, feeling sorry for myself or whatever, not where I was, not where I am, but where I'm going. It's like so mind-blowingly powerful. And so I was kind of keeping that from everyone else. I was like, on the side, hey, this is super fucking fun. I use this to make a whole bunch of money and a whole bunch of other things and do. So why don't we do this on the side? But I'm never going to tell anyone on social media.
Right. That makes a lot of sense, Sandra.
Right. I know. Like, what? Anyway, so I'm just like, fuck it. I need to bring this to who I am, 100% of who I am. I mean, I don't share all the dirt, but like, not that I have a lot of dirt, but I needed to bring it to the world in the way that I teach it, because it's different. The way that I talk about it, the way that I see it is different. And I think all of us Western practitioners or Feng Shui practitioners, we kind of like, the way I explain it is like BTB, like you and I do. It is like a compilation of so many amazing things, like shamanism and psychology and the law of attraction and manifestation and I feel like each of us is so different because we rely on some things more heavily. Like, I don't do any of the mudras. I don't do any of the that sort of stuff. But
I love those pieces
a lot. See, this is what makes us so cool.
Yeah.
Because we are so different, and then we move our businesses into what we align the most with, right? And that's why it's so cool. And that's why you can never get enough of Feng Shui, because like, if you were teaching a course and you were talking about that, I would be like all in on it.
Yeah.
And I might never use it, but it's like so interesting to learn. So anyway, I'm really super chatty today. So anyway, I'm doing this. I decided I'm going to bring this to social media in my way. So that means calling a masterclass, what the fuck is Feng Shui and why the hell do I need it? And so I decided I was going to do this. And on the back end of this course, I have launched a Feng Shui for entrepreneurs, and I called it "For Fuck's Sakes, Move Your Desk." Now, the reason that I do this is because I was talking to my coach, and I'm like, she's like, okay, so tell me about this, blah, blah, you know. And I'm like, she said, what is it you want to say? And I'm like, I literally want to reach through the computer and shake entrepreneurs that shove their desk into the corner like they're leftovers from supper in the back of the fridge.
Yeah.
Like I look at it and I'm like, oh, but you could do so much better here. And so she's like, that's perfect. Let's find a name that goes with that. And I'm like, okay, for fuck's sakes, move your desk. That's it. Feng Shui for entrepreneurs. And she's like, I fucking love it. And it is so me. You know, I created a Bagua map, which you're going to have to look at it. I think you're going to love it.
Okay.
But I created a Bagua map that's very visual. And at the very bottom of the Bagua map, it says, this is, you know, that you lay it, not using your compass, because like I get lost in a closet, but lay it at the bottom, your Bagua map at the bottom of the map is the entrance of your home. And then I say, this is the architectural front door, the one the pizza guy would go to, not the one you take the groceries through the garage.
Correct.
And it's all me. So here's the thing. As I step into this new me, this like branded business, this like edgier business, all of a sudden, and I've got my set days and I'm going to go live and I'm going to do this masterclass and and I have all the things. My husband is away at work and my life goes to shit in a few ways. I've got a child had to go to the ER, and like a lot of urgency over what are we going to do? What's the cause of this, you know? And as I was moving through that, I knew that it was coming almost. It's like my coach was like, this is going to be your personal brand of Sabotage, and we're going to work through it. And the way that you work through this is to just it's like a feeling for me, but she's like, you continue, you keep going on, you don't back off your course, you keep figuring it out. And what happened was, as soon as it happened, I went, okay, this is Sabotage. I knew this was coming. This is like the yang of the yin. This is like, it really is like being able, like when we can create success, we also have to, and I mean, my goal is $100,000 months. That doesn't come with rainbows and butterflies. Always doesn't.
Well, there will be some rainbows and butterflies.
There's going to be a lot.
But life happens.
But you know, life happens, and this is what was my lesson in this. And I mean, my child is fine. Everything is going good because I held the faith. And what I normally will happen for me is that something happens and I swear I've got blinders on, and then something happens and I just turn my head and then I go full steam towards whatever crisis of the day.
And you tell stories about that crisis.
Right. And I can't hold both. I can't hold the energetic flip side. I literally, like, I can't seem to focus on more than two things at once. And I said to my coach, it's like my peas and carrots on my plate can't fucking touch. They're not even on the same plate. Like I can't, I got to eat every pea and then every carrot. Like I'm not like that, but that's almost the way my life feels.
Right.
And she's like, and your job is to figure that shit out so that you can hold it all.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so this week has been so cool because I focused on what my jobs were with, like, what my class, I had my class these 3 days. I knew that it was coming. And then I also had my kid in the hospital, my husband away. I'm like talking to the doctors, I'm talking to the nurses, I'm talking to my husband. Thank God he's an RN paramedic. So he's like, Sandra, this is too aggressive of a procedure. I'm like, okay, because I don't even have first aid. What the fuck do I know? And the doctors don't know that, but like they should. And so it's been this amazing feeling of personal power. I cannot explain it. Of just being in using my emotional intelligence and being in massive calm and control in my mind, but also in my body.
And knowing that
it's
everything
a feeling.
And knowing that everything is going to be fine.
Right.
I know for me,
right.
I used to be, something would happen and I would jump to worst case scenario. Full disclosure, sometimes I still do this.
Oh, I know, me too.
I do.
We're not perfect.
I'm quicker about pulling back, but before I used to be worse. And it wasn't just a worst case scenario. I mean, I had the whole story and I stayed there and I was in fear. And now I can look at it and go, well, is that true? Do you know that's the outcome? Is that what you want the outcome to be? Hey, how about you tell a different story?
Exactly.
And once we realize
what they say too is like, worry is like praying for the thing you don't want. Right?
Yes.
And
it's
so
like calling it to you.
Right. I know.
But when we get to that
I think
place,
too.
Do what?
Go ahead. Sorry, I keep interrupting.
No, what'd you say?
I think it's important too that when we know we're going down the rabbit hole, that we reach out to someone, right? Like if I am like in the spin cycle of bullshit, I can text you and go, okay, this is happening. And you will inevitably say to me, but what story are you telling? You know this to be true because you have said this to me. Like, but what do you want to be true? What story are you telling? And that's why either you need to have a good friend that's on a good wavelength, like not good, but like, that understands you and that wants to help propel you forward. Because I think there is a tendency for people to support one another by going there. Right. Like by going downhill and like, oh my God, is he okay? What can I do? And it's that's how we support instead of, okay, Sandra, I get that you would feel that way, but what story are you telling? Or holy shit, I've done that too, but we can't do that. But
you worrying about your kid, all you're doing is praying for all that shit to happen. Like,
I know.
And I'm not saying you, I'm saying us. But
us, well, that's
when we project that on and see them living that life, doing that thing, whatever, it's like that is our prayer for them, even though that's not our intent.
I know. One time I was doing this, I was in a meditation and I was worried about my kid who is in university. And I remember thinking, all of a sudden in this meditation came out, the more you worry about this happening, the less likely he is to pull him through it on his own. You literally are keeping him stuck in the problem. And I'm like, oh, I am a damn genius. Really, it was like my guides or the universe or someone talking to me, but like, it's so true. And we can't always just like sit in a 2-hour bath and meditate to find our answers. No. We need to intentionally set ourselves up with people who will support us in moving forward instead of holding us in our trauma or holding us back or holding like going down the rabbit hole with us,
making it okay to stay there.
Right. Like I want someone who will help me think differently.
Yes. And get out of that. And then our connection to our source. And so however we connect, whatever that way is, there is a direct connection. Like all you have to do is shut your eyes and breathe for a minute and go, okay, what the hell is this shit? What do I need to do with this? And it helps just unpack it. And then it's, well, and then what story are you telling? Is this what you want?
Right?
Is this what you want?
See, there she comes. I know, but it's good because it just kind of like snaps you out of it. Like it's like this thing that just like snaps me out of it. I'm like, shit, I'm telling a story I don't want.
Yeah.
I'm speaking to the universe about what I don't want.
Yeah.
And what am I going to attract? What I don't want, more of what I don't want. And this is why I love coaching.
Yeah.
This is why I love mentoring. This is why I think people should always have a coach. I always want to have a coach. Always. And I also, this is why I think people should equals guilt. But this is why I always encourage coaches or to look to your 5 people that you're surrounding. You are the the average of the 5 people you're surrounding with yourself with. And if you want to level the fuck up, look around.
Yeah.
Like level up where you're at. Place yourself intentionally, place yourself in spaces like coaching spaces, like a free Facebook group of people who are positive. And like I don't like low frequency, low vibe shit because it brings me down too. But like everyone down, right? And so it's like, how can we intentionally seek out people who lift us higher, like support us in where we want to go?
It's intentional for sure. It has to be. And not that you're not going to bump in to others and you can love them too. But your time needs to be invested in people that you want to be like. God, how did we get on that topic? Where'd that come from? That just popped up.
I don't know. I know. But it's the truth. It's like, I don't know. I can't see it any differently. And this week, I liken it to, I can't remember if I told you this story, or if we've talked about this story on a podcast. I feel possibly, but like I liken it to the personal power that I had when I had my kids. Because did I tell you about this when I did not use an epidural for either children? I chose not to. Yeah. Okay. I didn't tell this story. So we've got a few minutes. It's the Sandra show today, but but I chose not to have an epidural. I'm scared of the needles. And actually one of my friends had just had an epidural and she had like numbness in her leg for a year. And then it made my fear worse. So I just,
I had an epidural
to a few nurses.
I got to tell you this. I had an epidural with Logan and it didn't take. And I had C-sections. So when they went to cut me, I said, I can feel that. And he said, do you want another shot? And I'm like, as long as I don't have to feel that. And my blood pressure dropped and they had to knock me out. And then get him out. So maybe you're lucky you didn't have that epidural. But anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
And just add into my fear there. Thank God. So anyway, I was talking to like a few of the nurses, because you're always in the hospital or the doctor's office. And I was talking to this nurse. She was a younger nurse and she had just had a child without an epidural. And so she said, my best advice to you is to go in focusing on the fact you're like of staying in control. Because the second you lose it and you start to panic in your mind, you cannot get it back. It is like, you cannot get it back. And I'm like, okay. And I'm telling you, every single, like both of those times, that's all I focused on. And the one time with my second, I had hemorrhaged with my son. And so they chose to send me in an ambulance to the hospital. We couldn't deliver in my tiny town, so it was 2 hours away. So I was in the hospital with the doctor, and I didn't have a cell phone, and Cam was coming after, but he was a paramedic. I mean, he's delivered babies before, and I'm just kind of, well, I'm going to be okay, you know? And the doctor was freaking out. She was like, I've got morphine. And I said, are you going to take some? I don't need it. And the EMT with me is saying, are you feeling this? And I'm like, yes. And she goes, this is like an 8. And I said, I am aware. Like, it was like everything that I was trying to do was just like not lose it. And that's how it feels this week. It's like, I'm not allowing, it's like I've got the thoughts and I'm thinking logically, and I'm not allowing myself to tell me stories that would make me more panicky. I am dealing with the facts and the decisions that we have to make, and I'm not telling stories of where this could go.
Yeah.
And I'm still showing up for my masterclass, and I'm still showing up for this podcast. And I'm saying to him, I'll be back in an hour, you know? And
how
like
powerful is that, to not lose your shit and go, the sky's falling, I can't handle this, I can't do this, oh my God. Instead, it's like looking at what is, instead of all this bullshit that we turn things into.
Right?
Yeah.
I know. What story am I telling myself?
Yeah.
I'm telling myself, I got this. Like this, we got this. We got this. And you know what's interesting? We got this. Yeah. So like what this morning was emergency surgery has now, and I'm like, no, that doesn't feel right to me. And we moved through, and we then all of a sudden it's like a doctor, our doctor happens to be working emergent. He comes to me and he's like, I don't think we need to do surgery. I'm like, great. I didn't think so either. Like just energetically,
like, I knew that.
So. And right. I mean, I don't have first aid. So what would I know? But, you know, it's like, I just trusted. I held the faith. I prayed. I trusted in the universe.
You knew.
And I did. I knew. And I stayed in the energetic frequency of miracles.
Yeah.
And that, I believe, is the key. To stay in the energetic frequency of miracles.
Yeah.
And I was determined not to lose it. And no matter when people are telling me, you can cancel your class, you can reschedule your class, you can do all of this. And I'm like, do I need to? No, he's okay.
He's fine.
Do I need to? No, in this moment, no. And here we are. Good news after good news after good news, and he's going to be fine.
Yeah.
And so it was like, man, this week, massive transformation for me because I felt it in my body. You know, we can know things in our head, but it's like a totally different world. Yes. Yeah. And now I feel like it's like, now I own it.
Yeah.
Now it's me. Not that, I mean, maybe I'll slip up. Maybe I'll, you know.
We slip up from time to time.
Go down.
We catch ourselves quicker. We don't go all the way down. We start to go and we go, oh, I don't like this path. I remember this path. I don't think I want to do, you know, it's like being in a buffet and seeing an item on the buffet line that you're like, you don't say no one can have this liver and onions.
Right.
And I'm just making that up. You say, I don't want that liver and onions. Ooh, I want the chicken fried steak.
Right.
I'm just pretending I'm at Luby's. Hadn't been there in 15 years, but
but it's just, I don't know. And the other thing that I think that I love is that no matter how much work I do on myself, no matter how much personal development I do on myself, no matter how much I spend on my coaches, no matter how much I invest or I learn or I feed my mind, there's always opportunities to practice. And this week is like, what is the universe telling us?
Mm-hmm.
Why is this happening for us? Because it's always happening for us. And why is this happening for me specifically? I mean, also, you know, for my kid, for my, like, you know, like, why is this all of it? Like, it's just such an interesting, right? And I'm like, this is my opportunity to practice holding the energetic flip side. This is my opportunity to appreciate holding the yin and the yang.
Someone said this, and I carry it with me, but it's life does not happen to you. It happens for you.
For you. Absolutely.
And I know when shit will happen, whether it's self-created, whether it's someone bumping into me, like whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I'm in a mode of pretending I'm a victim or playing the victim or feeling sorry for myself or being fearful. That's one thing that will pop into my head is life doesn't happen to you. It happens for you. How is this happening for you? And it shifts my perspective immediately.
Do you know what I love? The what I love that one too, but I love that I believe it was Sarah Blakely, CEO of Spanx. Well, now she sold it, but you know, I think she was the first female billionaire. But Sarah said that what she says is, where's the gift?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Same thing, right? But it's like, where's the gift? And I was thinking about that this morning. I'm in the ER and I'm thinking, where's the gift? Where's the gift? I can hold the energetic flip side here. I can practice holding the energetic flip side. If I want $100,000 months, what's the energetic flip side of $100,000 months? I don't know. But if I can't hold this, I'm going to have to relearn this lesson.
Yeah.
Okay. What else?
Over again.
Over and over again.
So you pass.
We don't want to do that.
No.
I know. Now pass. Now a different color of sabotage maybe next time. But like, yeah, it was like, and where is the gift? Where's the gift? And there have been so many of them.
Yeah.
And everything is turning out wonderfully.
And if we look back at our entire life and things,
it's all like that.
It's all like that. We just make them mean something.
Yeah.
More. We tell a story about them instead of looking at what it gave us and where it brought us.
Exactly.
But girl, we are so out of time. Like we're like,
oh my gosh,
8 minutes over.
Way past. Oh no, it's the happy half hour plus 8.
Because it's that happiest hour.
It's the happiest hour. It is. Thursday is I'm gonna get mugs made. Thursday is the new Friday.
Oh yeah.
That's what we should do.
For sure. Well, guys, thank you for joining us. Sandra, thank you. This was a great 30 plus 8.
Yeah.
And you guys have a great weekend and a great week. And we will see you next Thursday on the Happy Half Hour. Bye.
Bye.